More. Did I just push some? I don't know. Okay. Everybody kind of thinks it's weird that we talk about confidence when we talk about leadership. But we think that it's very important, not just confidence in your abilities, but also confidence in your sense of self. So we're gonna talk a little bit about, who here has heard us speak before? A few, right? Good amount of people. I say that because, one, we talk about confidence almost every time we speak. We really believe that it's important. Also, so that those people know, I always jack up my words, just so you know. So I'm gonna say some weird stuff up here. I was speaking one time at a different school and meant to say campus chapter and said champer.
Wow.
Right. And I didn't even catch it. And I was still talking, and then a minute later I stopped. I was like, did I just say champer? And everybody's like, yeah. Okay. Who here loves speaking in front of people? Good amount of you. Good, good. Who out of that are presidents? Good. Okay. A lot of people really have a fear of speaking, and that comes, look at high fives back there. That's awesome. I'm so jealous. I'm a high fiver. I love that stuff. Let's do an air five. There we go. Nice. Oh, two. Hold on, I missed you. There we go. Good. Okay. But here's where confidence comes into play with stuff like this, because there are going to be times where you have to believe in your ability to sell yourself and your organization to people. Chris and I talk all the time that people don't join your organization, they're joining you. They're joining people. We just spoke to a fraternity just this past week, Sigma Pi, hey guys, about how important it is that people believe in what you're doing and saying, because they're going to join you, they're not going to join your organization. Sometimes people I really want to join that group, and that's great. Easy recruitment, right? Love those people. Okay, sweet. Nobody loves it, just me. But we talk about how it's important because people are going to join you. Anytime anybody joins an organization, they remember the person that told them about that group. And something that they said brought them onto it. And whoever talked to you about that probably had a good amount of... Okay. There we go. I was like, a weird Vitruvian bubble guy. So anyway, so I like to talk about this. Perceptions versus expectations. Perception of ability is much more important than actual ability. Fake it till you make it, right? You've heard that before? Anybody? 2, 3, good. As long as people believe that you know what you're doing, they're probably going to follow you. And I say that with a little bit of hesitation, because I don't want you to just go out there and be like, I can do everything. And everybody's like, sweet, and then you can't do shit. Right? Right? So, it's important that they believe that you can do what you're saying you're doing. And that's where that perception comes in. Right? And that only comes from confidence. If you can't convince people that you actually know what you're doing, they're not going to follow you. Okay? You have to believe in yourself. So we're going to talk about a little bit of different things. One, dressing the part, because you are a leader of your organization. So all the time you're representing your organization. So it's important that you look the part. I'm not saying do this every day, because I don't want to either. And then the expectation of you knowing what you're doing. Because if you tell people, like I said earlier, that I can do whatever, and it turns out you can't, then it's going to be disastrous, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about physical appearance, right? Basic stuff. Take a shower, right? Clean up a little bit. Sounds obvious, isn't always, okay? Social image is one that's really, really, really important. We talk about this a lot. Watch what you're putting on Facebook, right? Twitter, things like that. The worst thing that you can do for your organization is put a picture of you up on Facebook with a drink in your hand. People do it all the time. And I'm not saying that that's the end of the world, but I'm saying if you're trying to attract people to your cause and you're in your picture with a drink in your hand, it's not good. Okay? So you really need to watch your social image, because your social image comes back to real image. In fact, most people think Facebook's their real life, right? There's so much drama and everybody's like, Facebook hates me. And then all of a sudden, nothing's going good. Attire selection. This one's really, really, really important. We're here speaking today, so we're dressed a little bit better than we normally would. Normally we wear slacks and shirts. We always dress more professionally anyway because of what we do. Oh, mine not buzzing. Oh man, I'm just walking around this whole thing. So I'm shorter, is that what it is? Dang, that happens. You're ruining my confidence, man. That's good. See, now I'm all freaking out up here because I'm short. Need a stool or something. Alright, so attire selection, we're going to go into that a little bit. Pretty obvious, right? This is what most guys do, is this right here. Right, ladies? Women love guys that wear suits. That's why we're wearing suits, right? Right? Yes. But this is what everybody does. They get their suit in high school, right, that mom helped them pick out, and then they're still wearing it, and he'll grow into it, she says, right? He's 30 years old. He's not going to grow into it anymore. Pants are bunchy at the bottom. The suit's way, way too big. But look, you just get it tailored, right? It costs a little bit more. Guys, do this. That's the best thing you can do for a suit. It costs about $100, and it does this. So, keep that in mind. Look, it's not just for the 5'8", right, 160-pound guys. If you're a bigger guy, you can dress well too. I mean, look at this. Look at his pants. This is crazy. It just blows me away. People do this. Does this say professional at all? It says he thinks he's awesome. He's even got sunglasses on. Like the Terminator up here. Big yellow tie. It's awesome. So anyway, but it's not just for the smaller guys. Bigger guys can get their suits tailored too. All right, so keep that in mind. Women, I'm not leaving you out. Hey, look, for guys we have this, okay? We're like, let's put a suit on. I look awesome. Women are like, well, it doesn't fit me because of this. Not that any of you sound like that, I don't think. That came out, I was like, what? How did that happen? All right, so we got what they call pear shape, triangle shape. That's like a thing. I don't know what's happening. He found it. I don't know what's going on. He's like, this is what you're going to talk about. I came in today and showed this. I was like, what? I'm going to go up there and talk about confidence and do this, and then say it like this, right? I'm a train wreck up here today. All right, rectangle, I guess is the thing. Apple. An hourglass, cool. I'm still trying to figure out why there's so much extra over here. Like, she's been working on the triceps at the gym. All right, so let's put something to this. It's a real thing, apparently. I don't know where you're finding this stuff, man. This is awesome. I don't really know how to explain this without digging a hole for myself. We're just going to take a second and look. So I've done a really good job of sticking my foot in my mouth today. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay. So, E equals O. This is something that we came up with pretty recently that I really like. Anybody know what this means? I'm hoping not, because we came up with it. That would be weird. NSA on our phone and stuff. Okay, E equals O is something we start talking about. This is event equals outcome. This is where a lot of people's confidence comes from, right? Something. Can anybody hear me back there? I feel like if I do this. Am I good? Thank you. E equals O means event equals outcome, which basically this happens to us all the time. I failed that test. I'll never get a job. Right? We've done this before. Worst thing you can say for yourself. What was happening back there? No, I was looking at you. Yeah, the black dot. What was this? That was awesome. You still on that? That one? There's a laser pointer on here. Oh, what did I do? It does turn on. There we go. I told you, I don't know if that. I just know there's a laser pointer on here. Anyway, we'll move on. Okay, so E equals O. Event equals outcome. So many of us base our lives on one event, right? I've heard a couple people say, yes, I've done that. Show of hands. How many people have said something like this? Something happened, so this much must happen, right? Cause and effect. Yeah, most of us. But we know this isn't true. I was born, I couldn't walk or talk. I can barely do either now. But the event didn't equal the outcome. Right? This is really simple, but it's really, really complex. So here's what we like to talk about. E plus R equals O. Who can take a guess on what the R means? Response, right. Or reaction. Exactly right. Good. See? Event plus how you respond or react to it is what's going to equal the outcome. I responded and reacted to not being able to walk and talk by learning how to walk and talk, right? When bad things happen, it's how we respond to it that is going to create that outcome. Sounds very vague and cliche, and it is. So I'm going to go into it just for a minute. How much time do I have, Colleen, by the way? A couple more minutes still? 5-ish? Okay. Just want to make sure. We went to Kansas City last week and had 45 minutes to talk, and Chris gave me like 7. That's right. His is more in depth than mine. Here's something I'm talking about. People have heard me say this before. This is really important. Do I have anything else after this? No. Okay, questions. Ignore that for a second. I don't want questions yet. This is something I want to talk about, because this is really, really important. We get so much of our self-confidence. I'm showing you where the laser pointer was on this. Oh, there it is. Right there. Self-confidence. Right? I don't know what's happening up here either. We get so much of our self-confidence from what everybody else thinks about us. right? We get so much of our self-worth from other people's feelings. How many of us do that? It should be everybody. I know a lot of you are like, I don't do that. But here's what happens. We try to derive our strength from the weaknesses of other people. Right? We try to find out our positive image from their negative image of themselves. We do it, and it's obvious. Everybody knows this, right? I'm like up here reciting a self-help book. This is obvious stuff. But we get so much of our strength. There we go. We try to get so much of our strength from their weaknesses. We rely on so much of what other people say, and it doesn't matter. The reason, let me tie this in real quick and I'll be done. The reason this is important, before we get to questions, write this stuff down real quick, okay? That's my email, that's my cell phone number, that's Chris's email, Chris's cell phone number. We travel all over the country speaking to schools, but we're based in St. Louis, okay? We're an asset for you guys. You guys have access to us that a lot of people don't, so definitely write this down, contact us if you need stuff. This is what we do, okay? But here's how this ties into leadership, okay? You have to believe in what you say. Who here is a leader of an organization with more than 10 or 12 people? Right? Are you going to impress 10 or 12 people every day? No. You can't worry about what they're saying about you. If you're doing the stuff that you need to do, and you know that you're doing the best thing you can do, don't let them tear you down. That's why this is important, because you have to have confidence in yourself before anybody in your organization is going to have confidence in you. Okay? And I like to go in depth more about this, but we do that at another time. But if you ever have questions, concerns, or anything, definitely get in contact with us. Does anybody have any questions for us before we wrap it up? Yes, ma'am. What are we talking about? LMA, Leadership Messenger Academy. Yeah. Yes, it does.
We're over on time already. So if you have any questions, please get in contact with us. We're going to be here throughout the day today. We're actually speaking in some of the breakout sessions you'll all be going to. Just quick on those really quick. I'm going to be speaking on Robert's Rules of Order. It's a topic that I've spoken on several times. It's very, very exciting. You should attend it if your organization needs some structure, the way that they conduct their meetings. I'll also be speaking on a topic that I like to talk about called Why Leaders Fail. And it focuses a little bit, like I said, about the power, where leaders get their power from, how they lose it, and a few other things, ways that organizations fail because of leadership. We'll let Gary talk about the two that he's going to talk about, then we'll turn it over to Colin.
Yep, I'm going to do values-based leadership, which is super actually exciting, and then also recruitment and retention. So if you guys have any issues with recruitment, retention, things like that, that's going to be a breakout time doing it, so definitely for those. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, Gary and Chris. So just a couple of housekeeping things before you guys move on to your first breakout sessions. Everybody should have a schedule. They should have gotten one whenever they checked in. If you didn't register online or we didn't have a specific schedule for you, you have to go to our Strike and Sync and Budgets and Bills session at some point throughout the day. Those sessions are happening at each breakout session. If you've already been assigned to one, so you registered online, you need to go to that session so that you sign in and you get credit for it. The other thing is we're going to be doing an evaluation at the very end of the day after the last breakout session, and that's how your organization is going to get credit for being here, and so you have to be here throughout the whole day. We have lunch. It's going to be a fiesta buffet. It's going to be delicious, so it's a good reason to stay. And then the last thing is some of you might have gotten an advisor's guide instead of the U-book, so if you did, see one of us and these polos and we'll get it changed out for you. That's for your advisor, but the U-book is for student organizations. All of us in these polos, the Office of Student Life staff, are here throughout the day, so if you have any questions about anything, just find one of us. And then off to your breakout sessions.